At this point, I'm kind of switching to the bottom and the back side of the worksheet, where I'm going to get into some nitty-gritty tools for success. This is kind of what I focus on. I'm a CPA. This is kind of a little nitty-gritty. So I want to take a little break here and ask what questions you might have at this point. We've got handouts in the back if you didn't get it, and we've got some green sheets too. But we'll give them a few more minutes, so they might have questions. We're going to have some drawing at the end, so if you want to fill out those green sheets. But does anybody have any questions, comments, issues they want to bring up at this point? Yeah. Go ahead.
So we have a co-op that's relatively small, but we don't have a board. We have 3 of us who run it, but it's very informal. We don't have minutes. At what point do you decide you need to have the minutes in the regular meetings? Because I have something I'm involved in that's like that, but I don't want to do it for my little co-op.
That's a good question. She said her co-op is small. She doesn't have what she calls a board, but 3 of you run it. Do you need a board, bylaws, minutes, all that stuff? There's no hard and fast rule, and usually I find it's the size of the group that dictates it. So when you say small, to define small for me, just to give you
20 families.
20 families. That's headed toward median, don't you think? I mean, really, that can take management.
240, and then we
240, that's big.
That's big. That's big. The co-op.
20. If you're running fine.
10 times a year, it's 5 here and 5 there, and we don't.
You mean-
We only meet. I'm sorry, 5
5
weeks in the
weeks?
fall or 5 weeks in the fall,
yeah.
5 weeks in the spring. And we have the only money we pay in is what we pay the church that we're staying at. So there's not money to take care of. It's just we meet and we have classes and then go home.
It's fabulous. You hear how she described that? They meet 5 weeks in the fall, 5 weeks in the spring. They collect money to pay the church. 20 families. It's lovely. That's a lovely model of a homeschool co-op. No, I think what happens is you find out you only need to keep minutes when people keep forgetting what they said they were going to do. Right? So you only build the structure as you find out that you need it. You only need a policy about what to do with sick children when a parent perpetually brings a sick child. Okay, so some people build all the foundation, all the rules, policies. Other people build policies as they need it. 20 families sounds pretty nice. Sounds like you may not need it. Yeah, I'd say keep it as unstructured as it works for you. There's no requirement to have that more structure. But since I'm a CPA and this stuff, you start collecting certain dollar amounts and it starts becoming an issue with tax exempt status, the IRS, that kind of stuff, okay? Stay underneath $5,000 a year, just be a nice little group of parents gathered together. There's no set rules, but that would be, if you went to the IRS and said we're 20 families gathered together, they'd be like, just do your thing, just do your thing, okay? You don't have a checking account? That's usually when things start, with cash. Usually that's the hump, when you need to set up a checking account. And you go to the bank and they say, oh, I need an EIN. Well, where is an EIN? Employer identification number, that's your first contact with the IRS, and then the clock starts ticking. I can talk more about that. Okay, any other questions or comments at this point? Yes?
I'm not part of a co-op, or an organization where we just filter.
Yeah.
And we do have an EIN number, we're nonprofit, we stand at 5,000, we're associated with the church. Do you have to do anything with?
Yes, you do. Let me rephrase your question so the rest of you. They're not really co-op, they're more like maybe you call yourself a support group, you're organized for field trips or other activities. They went and got an EIN number from the IRS, so you open up a checking account in the name of the organization, so it's not in anybody personal's name. I like that, that's good, CPA likes that. You don't bring in more than $5,000. She mentioned this threshold. I'll show you that in a minute. Is there anything she needs to do? Yes. And we'll get to it in another slide. The IRS is now requiring, I don't like it, don't shoot the messenger, now requiring you to report to them once a year that you still exist. It's called a Form 990N, and it's on your handout. Okay, so we're heading to that. Board budget bylaws. These things, as needed when you grow, I think are the tools for your success. Let me ask if there's any other questions before I delve into this more nitty-gritty stuff. Okay. You might have questions like, oh.
That's the one that's where we're at.
I like budgets, they are just planning with numbers, okay? Planning, how many families are gonna have? I'm gonna have enough to cover the church. What does the church charge? Do I need insurance? They're planning with dollar signs. Bylaws are needed, they're the structure that's needed to say who we are, how we organized, who's gonna run this, what does it take to be a member? You need to hash this out. Do we allow, here in Ohio, we have virtual public schools Ohio Virtual Academy, it's called, Public Schools at Home. And these parents think, and they feel like they're homeschooling, but legally, they're public school. So your co-op needs to decide, are those parents welcome or not? And some co-ops say yes, and some say no, but you need to decide some of these things. What does it take to be a member? Are we gonna have a statement of faith? Are we faith-based or not? Some co-ops say you all have to sign the statement of faith. Some say just the leaders have to sign. Some have no statement of faith at all, okay? You get to decide that. But that's what bylaws are. I have sample bylaws on my website, HomeschoolCPA.com. So you can start with my sample bylaws, feel free to change them. They're in a Word document to make it easy for you.